Okay, hi. Welcome back. This is just a quick update. I ran through so many different ideas about how to animate the title screen, and I'm trying to make this look like a game back in the day on like a Commodore in the late 80s, early 90s, and the Amstrad. And computers like that, they had games where the game was like down here, and up here you had this title screen that stayed with you while you played the game. And I've been basing all of my games on this, or most of them, because I like it. And now we have Kung Fu here. And I wanted to do something that I never did before that I always wanted to do, and that was animate the title screen. So we have Kung Fu in the center, and on each side we have a Yin-Yang, and it's like, think of it as a disc that's rotating. So it goes from front to side to back to side to front. So it's actually a rotating disc, like a coin almost. If you held a coin up on a table surface, excuse me, on a flat surface, and you spin the coin, you flick it and it spins like that. So that's what that is up at the top, and this will stay with us through the entire game. When my character moves now, the next part I started working on before I made this video was keeping his Chinese star in his hand, but since this sprite, when he runs like this, there's a distance that changes, so I have to calculate to make sure that it stays in his hand, like in the second position. If I can move the joystick, it's hard to get it to stay in one spot, but in this position it's fine, it reaches, it touches, but as soon as we start taking a step, there's space in between, and so I have to allow for that. And the other thing is, if I run this over again, say if I'm running and I throw from here, there it goes, and it calculates for the distance to the border so it doesn't go past the border, but I need to make it a race. And I also see something else that I didn't see before, like I can't go the other way because it's not calculated right. It's actually going away from him, and then if I turn around it keeps going like he's chasing after it, and I throw it from there and it's not throwing. I don't know why, I'm pressing the wrong button. It'll throw and calculate, but it's not right, it's not correct. So now it's behind them, so it's all mixed up. It's going to take a while to work out these bugs, but I wanted to start it. So now I lost my train of thought. These discs will spin as long as we're not running or doing anything. If we're doing that, then they stop spinning because it would slow it down too much. I could keep it rotating even when he's running, but it's going to slow it down, so I haven't decided. So I was trying to think, there was something else, I don't know what it was, but so the other thing is, if I'm in this position and I throw it, he goes back into his original position and then throws it. See that? And the other thing is, so I have to fix that. This is, you know what this is like? It's like a balancing act. If you do one thing in one spot, you have to make sure it's almost like, I don't know, like writing a program at this level is like building a pocket watch. Okay, for that analogy, there's a lot of intricate parts, and everything has to work together, and it takes a lot of calculating and measuring and things like that. So if I throw it, there's a delay because I don't see a delay now, but I think it's being redrawn. So there's a misstep or something. I've noticed it before. Not really noticing it right now. I don't know. I can't tell at this point. But I don't know. I have to work out these bugs, and it's just, I did this real quick to make an update video, and but there's a lot of things that have to be fixed on here, and that's no problem. I know how to do it. It's just going to take time, and there's a lot of different positions for this character. I'm used to 2 positions. This character has 4 positions, so to get this to work, I use something called movement, and I'll show it to you real quick. It's in the joystick loop. So here's where the joystick starts, and here's a typical joystick command. So if I go to the side, which is to the right, denoted by 63, left would be 0, centered would be like 31 or 32, I'm not sure, I don't really, anyways, 63 is to the right. So if I press the joystick to the right and movement equals 0, okay, that means he's in the standing position. It'll go through all this, and then once it's done, it changes the movement to 1. So we know that now we're in the stepping position. So I usually only work with 0 and 1, but in this case, it's going to be more complicated because we're going to go the other way, and we're going to have a different movement for going to the left. I can't use the word, I can use the word maybe right movement and left movement, because the left and right functions are separate in the joystick, and I hate listing this thing. It's like, I don't even want to get into it again. But when you go down here, J equals 0, that's going to the left. So we're going to have a separate movement. So it stays in memory until I move it to the left again, and that will change it so that we can differentiate and have the star in a different position. Because here's where the star gets, first the character is mapped, and then the star is mapped on top of it. So this is going to have to be a totally different positioning. It'll be the same here, but it's a different positioning. So I'm going to have to work on that tomorrow. I don't have any more time right now. Yesterday and the previous days, I was grappling with the thing is, I wanted to make these much bigger, like this big, huge, but it scans, you can see the scan lines, and it's way too slow. And the only way to fix that is to use P-copy, except for I don't have enough pages, and there's only 2 screens here, and even with P-Clear 8, we only get 2 full screens. So that was a bad idea because it would just be too much and too complicated. So I went with a smaller version, and I don't have to use P-copy. It's just a get and put routine, and it's a double get put. So what's actually happening is there's a go sub get put, which takes whatever is placed here and puts it over to there, but you can't tell because it's real quick. So there's a main get put routine happening here, which is cycling through the coin or the sides, but then there's a subroutine get put, which only takes whatever's here and puts it over here, because otherwise I would have to write twice as many lines, and I'll show you that. And then I'm going to cut this video off for right now because that's really it. So it's in the main joystick loop, and I already went past it, as a matter of fact. So let's list this over again. And I don't know where joystick actually is in here. Alright, see, it's way too hard to press. You know, this was really bad the way they did this. You're expected to press Shift at to pause it, and then another key unpauses it, and then you have to press Shift at real quick, and it's easy to miss lines. This is the stupidest thing they could have ever done. There should have been a separate key on the keyboard for scrolling and listing where you could pause the list. This is horrible. Alright, so its joystick starts at 81. It's right after that. If I can get it to stop, and I still can't, list 81 to 90, maybe it's in there somewhere. Nope, it's 81 to 86. I don't know if it's going to list the whole thing out. It's, oh, Jesus. No, I'm not even on the right part here. Where is it? Oh, this thing. I'm ready to rip this thing up. It's getting me so upset. I'll look at my printout. It looks like line 90 to 98. 90. List 91. There it is. List 91 to 95. So this is the main loop. List 91 to 97. I don't know. So here it is. First it hits the face, then it go subs to 105, which is the sub get put. Then it comes back and goes through a timer. It hits the side, does the same thing, hits the back of it, and then it hits the side again, and then it goes back to the front. And if we list 105 to whatever, it's this short, this is the go sub get put. And it's an extra dimension where it just takes whatever's placed here and copies it to the other side real quick, and then returns and continues with the main get put routine, and that's how it works. So that's it for now. If anybody has anything to add, go ahead. If you like this, let me know. The other thing I have to do is put some pants on this guy. I'm going to make his pants black and keep his shoes white, I guess. So there's only two colors, and he'll have his shirt off, I guess. Or I could put a shirt on him and pants and just leave his arms out like a tank top. Something like that, because I did the same thing on my Ghost Saga game. The guy doesn't have any clothes on, it looks like. So it happens. I don't know. It's just like you're in such a rush to do this that you forget stuff. So I have to do that. Get some clothes on this guy, and then start working on the Chinese star again. But before I do any of that, I want to go back to Tales of Suburbia, because before I started this project, I was trying to finish Tales of Suburbia. I really need to do that before I go any further with this, and that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.